The Giant Warriors Pirates were a pirate crew from 100 years ago that was headed by Dorry and Brogy. They were a band of giants from Elbaf, but they disbanded 100 years ago. They were introduced during the Little Guardian arc. Dorry has a bounty of 100 million belly on his head. He fights with a shield and long sword named the Terry Sword. Brogy also has a bounty of 100 billion belly on his head. He fights with a shield and a battle axe called Bruiser Axe. After 100 years of battle, their weapons lost sharpness and eventually broke during the Little Guardian arc. Their bounties are for example interesting. The bounties were issued 100 years ago. If we take for example belly as a paper currency backed with gold and we reflect it to modern paper currency like dollar, we can easily predict because of inflation that their current bounty could in fact easily be around 1 billion belly. And if we take all bounties that are around 1 billion belly, we can see that majority of the characters have Conqueror's Hockey. One of the most important facts for Dorry and Brogy is their age. Why would I say that? Well, they are 160 years old, which is a lot in human years, but they are giants. And we know from Big Mom's backstory that they can live up to 350 years. This means that they received those bounties at the age of 60, which is like around 20 in human years. This also makes them currently in their prime age, somewhere around Charlotte Katakuru's age. Rarely said that hockey blooms in the extreme conditions of real battle, and Dorry and Brogy have been fighting each other for 100 years. If you ask me, that's a lot of blooming. Dorry and Brogy destroyed their weapons at the end of Little Guardian arc, slaying Island Eater, a giant goldfish who eats ships leaving the island, sacrificing their weapons in the process. The attack that they used was a long-range attack named Hakuko, which means warrior nation. The strongest spear of the giant warrior tribe of Elbaf, Hakuko, was by far one of the strongest attacks in One Piece until Marineford. And today is still comparable to Yonko attacks like Kaido's Bolo Breath and Big Mom's Ikoku Sovereignty. Big Mom's Ikoku Sovereignty is actually the same long-range attack as Hakuko. In my opinion, the Spear of Elbaf is a very powerful attack that does not use armament hockey, but instead uses focused Conqueror's hockey. In chapter 1009, Big Mom and Kaido perform the same attack as Dorry and Brogy, even in similar pose. In that panel, Kaido says to Big Mom, "I trust your core hasn't gone weak with age, old woman." And the name of the attack was Conquest of the Sea. What Kaido said was interesting. What did he mean by core? Conqueror's hockey allows the user to exert their own willpower over others, and the person who possesses this type of hockey has the qualities of a king. Willpower can easily be replaced as someone's core, as Kaido said. To me, the most interesting part of the attack was its name. In the name of the attack of Big Mom and Kaido is the word conquest, which can be action conducted by a king in the name of its kingdom. In the name of the attack of Big Mom is the word sovereignty, which can be considered as the supreme authority within a kingdom. In the name of the attack of Dorry and Brogy is the word nation, which can be considered a kingdom ruled over by a king. There is a pattern in those attacks, and that is that all names are connected to qualities of a king or a kingdom. There are two more things that are in common in the attacks. One thing is all of them use a weapon to perform the attack, and second is that they are all pretty large individuals. In chapter 1010, Luffy uses his Conqueror's hockey in the same way that he uses his advanced armament hockey, which is actually a technique that allows the user to focus and emit his hockey. It is obvious in this chapter that Conqueror's hockey can be used in the same way as advanced armament hockey. All that Luffy needed to do is to change its source of hockey, from armament to Conquerors, or as Kaido would say, use its core. The only thing that remains to know is how big is Kaido's core, because we already know the size of Luffy's core, and that is 50,000 fishmen. The big question remains to be answered. When will Dorry and Brogy appear next in the story? My opinion is it will be a chapter to remember. In chapter 631 there is a cover story where we see the mystery man who's drinking with Crocus. Is there a possibility that that mystery man, after visiting Crocus, decided to visit Dorry and Brogy? It is only one island away. Currently, One Piece world is in turmoil, and we can know for certain that Dorry and Brogy are still on Little Garden. Who knows, maybe they end up in Wano, but probably the next time we see them will be Elbaf arc.